Off. I'm Nick, and we have Harrison tonight. How are we doing tonight, Harrison?
Fantastic, Nick. I'm working on my smoker's voice for the night, so I got that going for me. How are you?
I need you to record an audiobook for me at this moment. It'd be awesome.
Usually when you get somebody with this kind of voice, you're paying for the call.
Facts. Facts. I'll just put it on my phone bill. I'll worry about it later. But anyways, we got a lot to dive into tonight. But first, make sure you follow and like us on Facebook. You can subscribe on YouTube. You can also follow on Instagram, Rumble, and TikTok. You can also listen on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. We also have our affiliate sponsors, Logitech, MLB Shop, and Lids. You can find these links on the tops of all of our socials. So if you do any shopping with these companies, please use our links as we get a nice little kickback with no additional cost to you. Just a great way to support the show. Also, we have Rounding Third merch on Etsy. So search Rounding 3RD Baseball. So Rounding Third Baseball on Etsy. Make sure you put the 3RD in there when you search to come up with our store. So check that out. Great stuff on there, and another great way to support us and to get our name out there. And finally, on Patreon, it's a community that actually supports creators like Harrison and myself. So check us out over there. Become a member of that community, and we start releasing exclusive content. So check us out on Patreon. All right, Harrison, let's talk about this whole Tarps Off trend. Shirtless fans are sweeping the league. Started in St. Louis. I think it actually started in Oklahoma State football game. Fans were going nuts. It's now kind of trended over to the MLB, and fans are everywhere doing it. And I sit here doing Petey Pablo proud because that song just pops into my head every single time I see this the past week. But what are your thoughts on it? Do you like it? I mean, I was watching a meaningless game the other night. It was the Giants and the Diamondbacks, I think, and these guys are just going absolutely nuts in the stands, and the Giants are losing by 6, and it just brought a different atmosphere to the game. But how do you feel about this trend?
I feel like I've gotten old. Like I don't get where it came from. Like I was watching a game a couple nights ago, and like I'd heard about it, and I saw it happen too, and I'm like, wait a second, what? This is like a real thing. This is like everywhere, and I guess I'm a little bit lost at exactly why it's sweeping the nation like it is. But I will say, if it gets fans excited, gets fans in the game, brings some atmosphere to the ballpark, and it's not offending anybody, because I think, as Michael said, there's no ladies that have joined this fad yet. I think if the ladies join, this gets a little problematic. But if fans are having fun and it's not bothering anybody, I say bring it on. Let's do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I am offended by some, but that's we won't go into details there. But I think it's really cool. Like, I mean, like I said, the Giants were losing by 6 runs the other day, and their fans are out there just going nuts all over the ballpark. You got like 12-year-old kids doing it. All the college kids that have had 12 beers are doing it. There's even some older guys doing it. Like, it's pretty cool. It keeps them engaged, just like you said. I have no problem with it. It's just crazy that it's caught on like wildfire, and it seems like every game we turn on, it's pretty awesome. John Carter says, if by problematic you meant awesome, then yes. Yeah. So
you're gonna have like a R rating on on baseball games.
I'm currently shirtless, but I'm at home. I hope you're twisting it around your head, Aaron. That would only make it icing on the cake.
Aaron's tarps off at home, so good for him.
Yep, love that. Those are just casual fans who just go for the experience, who aren't hardcore baseball fans, in my opinion, and that's fine. If that's what they want to make out of it, and that's what they want to bring to their experience, then fine. I mean, that's something you're going to remember 20 years ago, right? Like Harrison, remember like our senior year in college, we went to the Giants game, dude, and we were just in the bleachers for 6 innings, just twirling that shirt. Man, I couldn't lift my arm for a week because I was just twisting my shirt all game. Like, that's the stuff that they're going to remember going forward. So pretty cool.
Well, it does, and if it brings more people to the ballpark, then great. I mean, casual fans are fine too. They're buying tickets, they're buying merch, sometimes they're buying food. Like, it helps the game, and some of them will come back, and some of them will watch again. And that's the one thing the NFL has going for it is that those stadiums are full. They're not all football fans. Sometimes they're just there for the experience, and that's totally fine. The more people that come to the game, some percentage of them will stick around, and that's great.
Yeah. Who can afford 12 beers at the ballpark? Well, yeah, you ain't kidding there. That's for sure. I would need
Yeah.
a loan.
That's over $100 in beverages.
Easy. Easy. Crazy. But yeah, just kind of cool, and it's just weird that it's kind of taken off like wildfire. But man, it's made some broadcasts pretty interesting. So
It
love
sure
it.
has, and I mean, I remember, the wave was always the big thing that would get people all wound up, like, you had the people that were in the camp of, "I love the wave, I hate the wave." But yet the wave carried on for forever. Um, and maybe this will stick around too, who knows, or it's just the cool trend of the moment, but it's fun to see crowds getting into the game.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's move on to some MLB things. So Corbin Carroll hit 2 triples today, and I put this slide together before he even hit the 2 triples today. So he's at 7 for this year, but he could be the first player in MLB history to lead the majors in triples for 3 consecutive years. And if you dial the clock back quite a bit, there was a lot of triple heavy players back in the early 1900s. So for him to do it for 3 consecutive years is crazy. And that's if he, leads the league in triples at the end of this year, which it's trending that direction. If he leads the NL in triples this year, he would become the first player in his specific league since Lance Johnson from 91 to 94 for the White Sox. So the first one is lead the majors in triple. The second one is for the leagues independently. So that's why there's a difference in numbers there. But how much fun is it to watch this guy just every gap shot, he's thinking 3 out of the box.
Did you know he was fast? I mean, the boy is fast.
Yeah, he's a little quick.
I mean, those triples today, he was flying. I mean, but you're right. When he makes contact and he sees that ball's got a shot for a gap, he is already thinking 3. And when he gets to full speed, about 2/3 way to first base, holy cow, does he fly? I mean, he is so much fun to watch. He can absolutely change a game with one swing of the bat. It doesn't have to leave the ballpark for it to be a game changer. Triples can be backbreakers too. But even the ground balls in the infield that he beats out, the singles he turns into doubles, the doubles he turns into triples, stolen bases. He's just instant energy, electricity, and really does change games with his feet, which there's not a lot of guys that can say in the history of baseball that they've had that big an impact with their legs. He will go down as one of them.
Yeah, 1,000%. Michael says, let me know when he makes it to Sam Crawford's 309. Now, I don't know what kind of pace he's on. I didn't really do the math, and you guys know how I am with math, so I don't do it. But we're 5 years in the league, and we're already sitting at 51 triples. So, I mean, we times that by what, 3? We're not going to come close to it. But
no, he might get halfway there.
Yeah. But ballparks also aren't built like they were back in Sam Crawford's day. So
and
that's the difference.
Pitchers weren't built the same way. I mean, it's not the same game.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, man, he's hitting gap to gap right now. Ketel Marte's hits are starting to fall. Diamondbacks looking pretty good right now. I mean, granted, the last 16 games they've played the Giants and the Rockies. So take that as you will. But they're actually playing really decent baseball. And the young kids that they keep pulling up out of the minors right now are making a huge difference. So love watching them right now. Corbin Carroll's always been a big part of that. But yeah. Lance Johnson reference. Love it. Yeah. Speed on the bases is so much fun to watch. It is. I mean, even Jarren Duran to an extent, right? Not so much this year. I haven't really seen him push the envelope. Really hasn't had an opportunity, but every base hit, Jarren Duran is thinking double, whether it's going to be or not. Like, he is the definition of, I'm going to make the fielder make me stop at first base. Every base hit, I'm thinking double out of the box, and you have to stop me from going to second. I love watching that type of baseball, just balls to the wall all the time. And that's what Corbin Carroll is, and Jarren Duran when he's right. But Nothing beats speed in baseball, man. It's incredible to watch.
No, these guys put a lot of pressure on defenses to, infielders are thinking in their head how quickly they got to move. Outfielders are thinking what base they got to throw to, and how quickly an offline throw can change things. Like they put a lot of pressure on the defense, Corbin Carroll especially, and speed kills, man. In baseball, speed absolutely can completely wreck the opposing team.
Yeah, like you just said, that internal clock by infielders are going, double time because like, man, I got to get rid of this, and then they rush the transition, the transfer, they bobble it, they drop it, and that's it. Changes the game for sure.
Yep. Big difference.
Pretty crazy. All right. Wilson Contreras and Victor Caratini collide at home plate. I don't know if you saw this. So there's a wall ball or a gap shot, whatever. Contreras is coming around. He's trying to beat it. And he really kind of doesn't have anywhere to go. If he slides, he's out by 1.5 miles. So he tries to kind of go around the tag and step on home plate that way. And Caratini kind of crosses the baseline with the ball, and they collide. Now they are friends, I guess, off the field. Supposedly, like they're really good friends. They're really good buddies. So it really wasn't a scuffle, but they both kind of hugged it out. And Caratini was like, "Hey, dude, like you got to slide. You can't do that." Like it was a peaceful beef, if you will. But bench is clear, all of that stuff. But my question is, was anyone really at fault here?
I don't think so. Like when you watch it, so I mean, look at it from Contreras' perspective. If I slide head first, I'm going to lose a finger going into this guy. I slide feet first, I'm going to spike him. So I might as well just kind of like run around him and give it a shot. I mean, he's out pretty much any way you shake it. Like there's no way he was going to be safe in the situation unless he can like jump over the top of him and swan dive to home plate.
Yeah, Chris Coblin.
There's no way he was going to be safe. And Caratini, he caught the ball and kind of took his momentum across home plate. I mean, he's standing right in the baseline. I mean, there's not a lot of places that he can move and get out of the way. He's got to put the tag on him. So like, I don't have any problem with the play. I don't think anyone's at fault. It's one of those plays where like both guys are kind of stuck in the lanes they're in, and you just kind of have to let it play out. I will say Contreras didn't lower a shoulder. Like he didn't go in trying to get him. He actually tried to like spin at the end to avoid making kind of the contact with him that he did. They just kind of bumped. Thankfully they were friends because that could have been an ugly situation. Caratini kind of put his arm around his shoulder. They chatted for a minute. They were, I would say to your point, it was friendly, not as friendly at the beginning, more friendly at the end. More Caratini being like, dude, you can't do that to me. But when all said and done, nobody got hurt. I don't think anyone was at fault. The play was just one of those where they're both stuck where they were, and it had to just play out.
Yeah, and I think Contreras at the end of the game said, "Hey, like that was the least volatile contact I was going to make is going standing up. If like you said, if I go in feet first, man, it's a train wreck. Like trains off the rails, it's going to hurt. Like this was the only way that I could make the least amount of contact while still trying to do my job and score. So I don't have any issues with that either. And I'm with you. I don't think it was anyone's fault. If he slides, there's no shot of him reaching home plate. So it just kind of, wrong place, right time, right place, wrong time. I don't know exactly which one fits this situation, but it was kind of a little bit of a beef, but nothing more than that. I don't think it, warranted the benches to clear, but it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, I think the hard part is if he goes in feet first, he wipes Caratini out. That probably looks worse. He goes in head first, he's going to jam or break a finger. As somebody who's been spiked many times, it's not a lot of fun to have somebody go feet first into you from that close. So I think of all the potential scenarios, that was the best one. I mean, some catchers may have had a bigger problem with it than Caratini did, but at the end of the day, I think Contreras is right. This was the least painful option of what was in front of me, so I did what I had to do.
Yeah. Heat of the moment, anger, you make peace a minute later, which is almost exactly what they did in real time. Like Caratini they both kind of hugged it out. It brings them to the Red Sox dugout a little bit. and they were both talking like civilly. They weren't yelling at each other or anything. They're just like, "Hey, man, like, come on, what are you doing?" type of thing. And that's as heated as it got. But just wanted your take on if anything was, if anyone was at fault there.
Yeah, definitely a weird play. I don't see anybody at fault, but definitely a weird play. And in today's game where, running into the catcher is no longer a thing, for a minute there, I was like, oh, this is going to be bad. And then it thankfully wasn't.
Yeah. Issues were warned, or my goodness, warnings were issued for each teams for that, but I think it was just going to be left at that anyways. I don't think they really had to police that. But John Carter says if Jeffers wasn't hurt and was catching, Contreras would have been in trouble. He's 6'4", 230. Yeah, man.
Yeah, crazy. Contreras would have been on the ground.
Yep, absolutely. But yeah, I don't think anyone was at fault. Just kind of one of those things that happened. But
yeah, just a weird play, bad timing.
Yep, agree. All right, Brian Torres for the Cardinals has spent 11 years in the minor leagues, 913 games in the minors, single and a homer in his debut. How freaking awesome must that feel if you are the same, like if you are Brian Torres? You finally get your shot. You get 2 hits in your debut. One of them's a bomb.
I mean, first of all, kudos to this guy for sticking it out. 11 years in the minors is a friggin' long time. Most guys, as we even heard Mark Rogers say, like after a couple of years of moving out of the minors, it's hard. It's hard to stay there. It's hard to stay focused. It's hard to, keep pushing when you've got a life calling for you at home and, all these other things. So kudos to him for sticking it out. And what an awesome debut. Way to take advantage of the moment.
Yeah, and no matter what team you root for, you love this if you are any type of baseball fan, right? Good for him. Tears of joy, Curtis, right? I mean, it's just absolutely incredible. Yeah, John Temple, that was great. I mean, yeah, he loves the game, and that shows it. If you're willing to stick it out for that long, right? Your dream is so close. I'm one injury away from making the squad. I mean, granted, it took me 11 years, but hey, like, my perseverance paid off, and man, did it pay off. A single and a homer in your debut is pretty damn awesome. And
he waited 11 years, but he's in the book.
Yeah. And I can't imagine like finally getting your shot like that and then making an impact on the game is pretty damn awesome. So
yeah,
cool story from Brian Torres.
And it says a lot for a guy that stuck around that long. Not just him being able to stick around that long, but also the fact that he was good enough to keep his spot. Because we hear it all the time, like, as these guys get a little older, it's like, man, we can't afford to keep them around. We got young guys coming. Like, he was always one of those guys who was good enough to be there and just never had a spot until just now.
Yeah, pretty damn awesome.
So. And as Mike Reed points out in the chat, he has more homers than Tatis does this year, so he's got that going for him.
Still crazy, man. Unbelievable. But all right, another rookie comes up, hits his first big league homer at the Sky Dome in Toronto as Merlin Valdez. I think I got that name. He had to bargain with a fan to get the ball back, and this exchange was incredible. If you have not seen the video, do yourself a favor and look it up. This kid's got to be, 11, 12 years old probably, and he won't give the ball back. And you have the Pirates dugout guys like on the phone with him, like back into the dugout, like, hey, what do you want? And the kid's like, nope, not enough. And they're like, Dennis Santana runs back into the dugout, gets Valdez to sign a bat and a ball. And I think he hands them a hat too. And then finally the kid was like, all right, I guess that's a deal. So Valdez did get his first home run ball back, which was pretty cool. But good for that kid to hold out, man. I know when I was in Texas a few years ago and we were sitting in the left field stands waiting for Josh Young's first homer. And I'm like, man, if this is coming to me, I am holding out. Just give me a trip to the clubhouse. I'll be happy. But I'm holding out. I'm not taking it home, not giving it to a little kid. I'm holding out and I'll take a trip to the clubhouse. But yeah, pretty funny that the kid was on the phone with the guys in the dugout. I thought that was awesome. Pretty dang cool. But
I mean, if I'm Valdez, I'm getting the kid's number because I'm going to need an agent at some point. He negotiates better than most of their agents do.
Facts.
But I mean, credit to the kid. It's ballsy to take that take that stance. If it was an adult, I would think it was pathetic. The fact that it was the kid makes it really cool. Like he knew what he wanted. He wanted something good for it. You know, it's one of those I know what I have situations. But I always love to see the home run ball go out, and then like players immediately start to get in touch with the kid. Like I remember there's somebody hit their first career home run last year. I want to say against the Dodgers, and or year before that, Mookie Betts was in the outfield. Guys, Mookie Betts immediately turns the ball, starts talking to the kid, trying to get the ball back. And then, like, next inning, he swaps some bat and gets the ball back. Like, he took care of the opposing player's guy. But
Yeah,
it's always fun to watch these guys negotiate with the fans to get those first home run balls back.
Yeah, he was in Pittsburgh, I think, when he did that. I think I remember that. I think Mookie was in Pittsburgh. Right. But yeah, I remember that. But yeah, pretty dang cool that kid, like you said, the kid was just like, yeah, not quite good enough, buddy. What else you got?
Yeah. But what a kind of a cool moment. As a parent, I'd be sitting there going, nice job, kid. Like,
yeah, right.
You'll be all right.
Well, and like you said too, for the kid to be in tune enough to know that this was his first home run, right? And to not just give the ball over, to be like, oh, I know the significance of this. Let me talk to him on the phone. Get your buddy on the phone here. So,
well, usually it's like, you know, the grown-ups are asking for the ball back. I got to give it to them. It's like, no, I know what I got here. Like, I'm going to get something good for it.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm that kid, I would ask for, you know, I want Skeens. I want all these guys to sign stuff and bring me things.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, bring me up to the Livy Dunn suite here. So
yeah, I'll tell you what, I want to hang out with Paul Skeens and play video games, and my dad's gonna hang out with Livy Dunn.
Yeah,
deal.
Right. Yep, done. Yeah, a pretty cool moment there. So, all right, Chris Taylor retires. So Mariners, Angels, Dodgers, a lot of great postseason moments out of Chris Taylor. And really solid career. I mean, I know the last couple of years kind of tailed off a little bit, but man, this guy was a thorn in a lot of teams' side. Just a really solid career out of Chris Taylor. So he retired Friday, but he was on the IL, and he was like, you know what, this is a time for me to retire.
Yeah, and a guy with a great playoff track record too.
Yep. Just kidding. Yeah. Chris Taylor then was reinstated the next day. So he's on the minor league IL. So he does have a fractured left forearm. So he was reinstated the next day. So he retired, then unretired. But this must be just to get medical coverage, I'm guessing, to unretire. That would be my guess, right?
I would assume so.
Yeah.
I mean, I do believe that if they do have an injury that carries over, they still get coverage. But I don't know. It's really confusing because he was there, then he was back, and then apparently I'm reading now, he is officially retiring. I don't know.
Okay, so back to the slide. Chris Taylor retires again.
Yeah, apparently that was as of half an hour ago. He clarified that he is actually retiring.
Okay, so we'll just skip these slides because we really have no idea what the hell's going on with Chris Taylor at this point. But yeah, Curtis said he just retired again. So
he retired on Friday, changed his mind on Saturday, retired again today.
Okay.
Apparently, he's saying he never really unretired. He just like explored it. I don't know. It's confusing. It's so confusing what's going on. But he's retired.
Oh, okay. Well, I got nothing else to say about that because it might change in 5 minutes. So I was
just going to say, wait until tomorrow. You know, he's got a long weekend to think about it.
All right. Well, cool.
I have to believe Chris Taylor is on the fence because I think he's hoping he gets back this year to healthy, and I think he's hoping somebody calls. Like, I think there's a little bit of him holding out hope that he's not done yet.
Yeah.
But also realizing that there's really nobody asking for him. So it's, I don't know. Right. He might just be hedging his bets a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Pretty cool moment at the Diamondbacks game. I was listening to it last night. The Giants were in Chase Field. So the fans go to the game. They're trying to get through the gate, and their tickets aren't working. And the usher's like, "Well, you have tomorrow night's tickets. Like, you're not supposed to be here tonight." And they're like, "Oh crap!" So they go to will call. They get tickets anyways, and they get up to their left field seats, and they catch Willie Adamas's home run ball. And they're cool, whatever. They got Adamas to sign it. The next day, they come back for their game that they bought tickets for, and they catch Willie Adamas's home run ball again. So they caught Willie Adamas home run ball back-to-back games. Like, some people just have all the luck in the world. If it wasn't bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. And this guy catches
Oh,
2 home run balls by the same player in back-to-back games.
it's
It's just
crazy.
one of those baseball things that's crazy. Yeah.
It is
Like,
wild. I mean, very cool. Very cool to have that experience of catching one, then to catch it again is even more insane.
yeah, the next night by the same player is just, what are the odds?
Well, and don't look now. You know, Willie Adamas is heating up. Rafael Devers is starting to heat up, and all of a sudden that Giants team doesn't look quite as bad as it did before. But those guys have a special kind of luck going. If I'm Adamas, I'm flying them everywhere.
Yeah,
You're gonna
right.
travel with me, guys.
Yeah, sit right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Need to go buy a lotto ticket for sure.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, that Diamondbacks 50-50 every game is ridiculous. I would just go buy all the tickets there. But that Diamondbacks 50-50 gets up over 150 grand almost every game. It's wild.
So much money.
Yeah. That could be an only time it's ever happened in baseball history situation. Yeah. I know a couple years ago, there was a guy that caught back-to-back foul balls on consecutive pitches. The same fan. He was like upper deck in Texas or something like that, where the same fan caught 2 balls on 2 consecutive pitches, which is also pretty insane. But
That's nuts.
yeah, but that one's pretty nuts. Yeah, I'm surprised the Giant put the bat on the ball in order to make this happen. Yeah, we're with you, Ryan, for sure. Okay, trade Adamas to the Diamondbacks. I don't know where he's gonna fit. DH. I mean, that would be incredible. Put that guy in the left field seats above the bullpens every game, and Adamas would have 80 home runs by the end of the
Buy him
year.
season tickets.
Yep. I would find a place for Adamas at that point for sure, because Perdomo's not coming off shortstop. But
no, you'll find a home for him.
Yeah, but just one of those really cool baseball things that happened. Thought it was pretty awesome. So, all right. I mean, kind of a slow news week. That's really what I had put together for news. So, we got some out of left field discussion topics that Harrison has put together. So, what do you got for us tonight?
Yeah, I got a mixed bag of some stuff, some kind of news type items, and then just some fun stuff I want to get into. And one in particular, I just want to poke you with and see if I can get you fired up. So,
oh, great! I love this for me. Let's go.
It's the first one. Let's go.
Okay.
So I saw this discussion going around online. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to throw this out to Nick in the chat. So with guys like Bonds, Clemens, A-Rod, you know, name your favorite player that's been snubbed. Dale Murphy, Don Mattingly. Does the Hall of Fame still matter to fans? And does it matter in the sense of, you know, do you love a player more because they're in the Hall of Fame? Does it even matter if they're in the Hall of Fame? Do you view them as a Hall of Famer in your own mind? Like, where does the Hall of Fame still stand with fans? And does seeing your favorite player enshrined there really even matter anymore?
That's a tough one. Because the Hall of Fame still holds clout, right? Like, if your favorite player makes the Hall of Fame, you're just like, hell yeah, like my favorite player is a Hall of Famer. Like, it still holds clout.
Yep.
Now, does it matter to me anymore? It is very quickly trending in that direction for me. Like, I could give or take the Hall of Fame at this point, and it's not even necessarily the steroid guys that I'm all up in arms about. It's how these guys are selected. It's gentlemen's club. We only let in who we like. Not stats don't matter anymore. So for me, it's just the the inconsistencies of who gets in, who doesn't, it's lost its merit for me, I guess. I don't think it holds the same, I don't know the word I'm looking for. Validity, I guess. Like, I mean, Harold Baines is in. I mean, he's not a Hall of Famer to me. Like,
Yep.
Hall of Fame for me is Roberto Clemente, Willie Mays, Ted Williams, Babe Ruth, like the best of the best. Pedro Martinez, Randy Johnson, to bring it more modern, right? Those guys where it's like these guys were clearly the best of their generations, right? So to me, the hall itself doesn't matter to me, and I think it's because of the inconsistencies of it.
Yeah, and what I was going to say is summed up very nicely by Forrest. We all have our own personal halls of fame we carry with us in our hearts, and feel like my favorite players, many of them are not Hall of Famers, but it doesn't change how I view them. Like I don't, for example, in the picture, I don't view Barry Bonds as a lesser player because he's not in the Hall of Fame. One of my favorite players of all time is still Nomar Garciaparra. Was never going to be a Hall of Famer based on his career path. Okay. Like, I really enjoyed watching him play. I really enjoyed watching a lot of guys play. Some guys are Hall of Famers, some guys aren't. To me, the Hall of Fame doesn't validate a guy's career for me. The players that meant something to me, the players that I followed, the players that I most closely, cared about, to me, the Hall of Fame is irrelevant. Like, I find I don't care. And I
Yeah.
will say with the direction, to your point, of where the Hall of Fame has gone, I'm not sure that it's the same honor that it used to be. And I feel like the Hall of Fame has gone from really a museum and shrine for the fans to really just like a career achievement for the players. And the fans are kind of like, meh, my favorite guy is Dale Murphy and he should be in there. But so this thing's irrelevant. I think to your point, the inconsistencies have heavily, I would say, kind of tainted the Hall of Fame in the eyes of the fans. And in many cases, I think a lot of fans don't put a lot of weight on it anymore.
Yeah. So, Marty, it's funny you say this. Need a hall of good. Now, there is a website out there that does this, and it's pretty dang awesome. It's actually MLBHallofGood.com. And they do have some, stipulations in order to get in, but you can vote for players to get in. So they vote for guys like Hideki Matsui, Eric Hosmer, Denard Span, Scott Kazmir, Jason Kipnis, Kurt Suzuki, Jackie Bradley, Carlos Pena, Ricky Weeks. So all those guys that were like pretty good, but would never be considered Hall of Famers, right? I mean, we talk about those guys that get lost from that 10 to 15 year range, right? Because there's like, oh, they didn't have the longevity, so they didn't have the numbers, they don't go in the Hall of Fame. And it just seems like those guys from years 10 to 15 get lost or get very little consideration. And that's what this website does, and it's voted on by fans. It's pretty cool website. So take a look at that. Like I said, MLB Hallofgood.com, and they break down the profiles and everything like that. So it's pretty well put together. But
that's cool.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool website, and I saw a whole story on it the other day. So it's pretty awesome. Yeah, Forrest, this is a great point. Also, someone needs a reminder that there does not have to be an induction every year if it's not warranted. 1,000%. And I think that's where they've kind of gotten to the mediocrity, right? There's been a mediocrity, whatever. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, you're
so
good.
Anyways, I think, they're like, well, man, we really need one this year. Like, is there anyone that's borderline? All right, Harold Baines, you're in, like kind of like one of those deals. And
yeah,
that takes away from the prestige of the Hall of Fame title for sure.
Yeah. So some other good comments in chat, John Temple mentioning, we don't get to say so who cares anymore. Just attained as the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I mean, not wrong. Ryan, certainly not as important to me as it once was. It's a museum more to me now than an elite club. I mean, that's fair. I think the Hall of Fame to me is very much a baseball museum, and then there's some guys that are honored, but it's not necessarily important to me who's honored. Marty says matters to me. No Bonds, Clemens, or Rodriguez. I mean, yeah. I mean, I think that people that have a problem with the steroid era like it this way. Those that don't have a problem with the steroid era find this to be a huge omission. It depends on what side of that argument you're on.
I'm not. I'm not even. Let's put the steroid argument aside for a minute, though. Right? Those guys
Yep.
never existed in MLB history. Right? They're out of our minds right now. You let in a guy like Harold Baines that didn't really have a peak and didn't hit the career milestone numbers. And then you have guys like Mattingly and Dale Murphy who had insane 5-year peaks, and they're nowhere to be found on this ballot. So, like, to me, like, it's the inconsistencies of that. Now, I get it is really hard to compare player to player because baseball is so vastly different, and different aspects players are different in different aspects of the game, different tools of the game, if you will. Like, I get that. But if you're going to leave Mattingly and Murphy out, you have to leave out Harold Baines. I'm sorry if you're a Harold Baines fan, but to me, that's when this started to really get gray and wishy-washy. Like, I have no problem. If you want to put a stance and say no steroid guys in, fine. But it's not even that I'm talking about. It's the other guys that you have let in because, there was 10 Chicago writers voting on that veterans ballot for Harold Baines. So, yeah, obviously he's going to get in, right? It's just they let in who they want to let in and they keep out who they want to keep out. And that part I can't stand.
Yeah, there's two camps here. There's the steroid era guys that are a huge issue for some, and there's also the guys that just didn't get the support they probably should have, or got support that not everybody thinks they deserved. And there's guys in that Hall of Fame you could argue don't belong. There's guys that aren't in there that you could argue do belong. I mean, Vada Pinson, we heard his case. He's got a pretty damn good case. He's not in there. Yeah. It's really hard because the voting is not objective. It's not just, were you a great baseball player? Yes or no. It's very subjective. Were you liked? Were you a nice guy? What market were you in? There's so many other factors that go into it.
Yeah. And Marty, we are totally on board with you on this. Like, it needs to be former players, former coaches, former GMs in a boardroom and being like, Harrison Smith, Alex Rodriguez, in or out. Yes or no? Okay. Nick Arno, Alex Rodriguez, yes or no? And just go right around the table. Absolutely agree. The writers need to stop. Joseph, good question. Did Baines get in by being the first real good full-time DH? Again, like, I don't want a real good player in the Hall of Fame just because he was the first to be really good at it. Like, I want an elite guy in there. But that's a fair question. I don't know the answer to that. Maybe that was part of it.
Yep. Yeah, and I think it's a good explanation, Joseph. It's a museum, plain and simple, just like the Louvre. They can decide who to display and not to display. It's really not for us to choose.
Yeah, fair. Yeah.
It's kind of how it feels. Like, I feel like the Hall of Fame used to be something that fans really felt not some ownership in, but like a connection to. And I feel like that it's kind of faded. Like, the Hall of Fame to me is just not as big a deal as it once was. Like, I don't pay as much attention to the ballots when they come out each year as I used to. Like, I don't worry about it if guys don't get in, because to me, the guys that meant something, I'll always view in the same light, whether they're in there or not.
And also, question, like, as we're getting older, right, we have seen our childhood heroes, like, they're in the Hall of Fame, right? Like, Griffey's in, Pedro Martinez is in, Randy Johnson is in. Is this also us getting older and seeing this back half of the class kind of go in, and we've just naturally lost interest because, like, our childhood heroes are already in, or like there's already been decisions made on them? Is that part of this?
I think there's an aspect of it that is related to that. Yeah, I mean, there's, the biggest imprint baseball had on me was absolutely as a, from like the ages of like 9 to 18. Yeah. And all those the guys you rattle off, the guys that played from 93 to 2003. Those are the guys that I remember the most. But I will say, like, my my fanhood hasn't changed over the years. I have found I'm more interested now in players than teams. Like, I
Yeah.
just like to watch good baseball. I don't care if it's my team, another team. I find I follow it differently. But I don't feel as vested in players anymore. Like, I'm able to kind of sit back and enjoy it, and take it in for what it is. Good baseball is good baseball.
Yeah. I'm with you too, Harrison. Chad says, I'm in the same camp as Nick. If C League is in, then guys like Bonds, Big Mac, A-Rod should be in. No way the commissioner of MLB didn't know what was happening. And I've been a huge component of that. That's my mic drop moment on any steroid guys in the hall talk, on any podcast I go. This one, that is my end all be all argument. You can't keep those guys out and then celebrate the commissioner for that time period that knew damn well what was going on and chose not to do anything about it. So that's it on that. Michael, if Nick Arno doesn't get in, I'm never going back to Cooperstown. Well,
we'll have to get into the broadcasters, Nick.
Yeah, we'll see.
But like I will say, like, I remember as a kid, like, I used to love to get the Bill James handbook every year, and I would rip that apart to understand players' tendencies, ballpark tendencies. Because to me, I love to understand, like, the game inside the game. But I was always really, I would say, realistic with players. Guys that I loved, like, you could admit where they weren't good. You could see where they weren't good. Like, I wasn't one of those rose-colored glasses fans where, like, my favorite players could only do good. And I do think there are some people on, like, the Mattingly and Dale Murphy bandwagon that only see the good and ignore kind of the remainder of the argument. And I do think that in some cases is part of the problem here, is that their fans become so attached to the player that they just can't handle the fact that other people don't see him the same way.
I mean, that's a fantastic point, because we have talked about, Murphy's and Mattingly's like downslide because of injuries or what have you, like, and that seems to be left out of the argument for sure. But that's a fantastic point. Joseph says nobody had an issue with amphetamine 70s or cocaine 80s players. Yeah, but
no.
No.
Because as Bandit Healer would tell you, it was the 80s, man.
Right. Yep. So, yeah.
Everybody was having fun in the 80s.
But to wrap up this conversation, to me, I'm sure it still matters to some fans, but to me, does it still matter? Sure. Still holds some clout, but it is starting to lose its validity to me.
Yeah, so. And I'm with you. It doesn't matter like it used to. It's a cool accomplishment. It's a cool museum. It's not much more than that.
Yep. I agree. All right. Next one.
All right. So I got a picture of Miguel Rojas here because one of my favorite mic'd up players of all time was Rojas. When he's talking, he's like, "Oh, wait, guys, got to make a play." And then he goes and makes a play, and he comes right back to the conversation. So my question, Nick and chat, we see this in other sports. Should MLB do more in-game interviews and mic'd up or hot mic players? Is that something MLB should allow more of, and not just at the All-Star game and not just in the playoffs?
I mean, if they're doing it in the playoffs, then they absolutely should be doing it in the regular season. I mean, if you're in the ear of a guy during the playoffs when they're trying to win arguably the most important game of the season to that date, then I don't see why they're not doing this in the regular season. Like, I get not liking them because it does take away from your viewing experience, right? You're just zeroed in on that one guy usually. But I mean, half the time they're still running the regular broadcast, like they're still showing the at-bat and stuff like that. But I like some of the guys when they're actually talking baseball and the play, and like they're kind of explaining, they're walking them through like what they're doing, what they're setting up for. I don't mind that. If they're just like talking just to shoot the bull, then that's fine. You know what I mean? Like I don't want that part. Like, okay, Miguel Rojas, tell me, what are you doing pre-pitch? Like, how are you setting up for this? What are you looking for? Are you getting a jump off the bat angle? Like, walk me through what you're doing. Like put me, in your eyeballs for a second. Right? I love those type of interviews instead of being like, "Oh, hey Bryce, last spring we saw you hit 2 homers in spring training off so and so." Like walk us through those at bats. Like, dude, it's July 10th, like 3 years down the road. Why are you like I don't need to know that. But walk me through what they're doing. I'm okay with that.
Chad, this is a great one. Mookie in spring training. Don't think I'm gonna get this one, boys.
Yeah.
Was that a
Yeah.
ball in the gap or a home run? I can't remember.
I think it was down the line.
Yeah, it was funny. The Rojas one was great. Sorry, guys, got to make a play. The Freddie Freeman was great. There's wind, boys. There's wind. Then he's running. He's like running with like slow motion because Freddie's not fast.
Right.
I think the in-game interviews typically suck. Skipper, what'd you think of the third inning when so and so threw 25 pitches? It's like it was a long inning. Great.
Right.
It's like, I mean, what are these guys going to tell you in the middle of the game? Not
Right.
usually much. I do love the mics for all the things you mentioned though. Like I want to understand, and even like was it Jazz that was mic'd up on opening night?
Yeah, and it was actually great.
It was awesome because like he was talking about like how he gets ready and where he's positioned and what he's doing, and talking about the how he was moving around pitch to pitch, like why he was doing that.
Yeah, because he had taken off on a swing and miss, like out of the camera frame. And they were like, "Where did you go?" And he goes, "I was getting a jump on the ball." And they were like, "Well, he didn't hit it." He's like, "Yeah, but I can tell by the pitch and the swing path. So I can take a step in that direction." And that's what separates you from being good to elite, right? I wouldn't say Jazz is elite, but still a damn good baseball player. And if you've played baseball enough, like if you have a swing and miss, you can tell where that ball's going if they made contact. So
yeah. You've seen if you've seen it enough times, where it's by bad angles and timing where it's going to go. But it's I do think the mics are awesome. Even if you're not interviewing the guy, just like listening to the chatter on the field. I think the one way MLB can help fans get more into the game is by letting them into the game.
Right.
And obviously you've got to censor out some of the stuff they say. You can't be sharing signs. Like I'm sure there's definitely landmines in all this, but understanding how guys are positioning, where they're moving pre-pitch, post-pitch, why they're backing up, if more that you can hear. I do think that giving the fans that perspective of like the inside the game perspective would be amazing. Also for young fans who are learning, like it's just, it would be incredible to give that sort of insight. Not asking them to give away why they're positioned this way on this guy, but more so like how they're reading pitches, how they're positioning, like why did they shift? Did they see something? Where are they going with the ball? Like understanding just general play. But you could also do it with like an on deck batter. Like how is he getting ready for his at bat? Like it doesn't just have to be the guys on defense.
Right.
It could be a catcher. It could be a pitcher warming up. It could be a guy in the field. It could be the guy on deck. It could even be the hitting coach or the pitching coach. Like if you could have a few guys mic'd up, there'd be so much gold that comes from those moments. I think baseball would do so much with that kind of content to share live, but also after the fact.
Yeah.
Just to help people get that inside perspective that they're dying for.
Right.
Like I loved the umpire cam. I wish they do the umpire cam all the time. That was freaking amazing. I would watch that every night.
Yeah, Ryan Taylor, a catcher with a GoPro for an inning would be sweet. Yeah.
I would watch that every night.
Dude, give me that chest camera, like the one that just goes right here on a catcher. Like I can't even imagine what that looks like coming in, man. It'd be so cool. But Curtis, if I'm a player, I'm not telling my secrets. And I get that, right? I'm not asking you like, hey, Jazz, what do you got written on that card underneath your hat? Huh? Tell me third from the top. Can you read that like left to right for me? Like, no, but like telling somebody how you set up for a pitch isn't giving away secrets. Every good defender does it. So, but I'm with you.
And then understanding like, oh, we're setting up for double play, so I'm coming in a couple of steps to make that. Like,
right.
There's so much banter they could have that wouldn't give anything away.
A GoPro and you can hear the pitch comm.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool. But just interview a guy who just took a slider to the nuts. Wonderful commentary. Jeesh. And I mean, I get that, right? I mean, there's going to be some hot mics that come out if that's the case.
Yeah.
right? If they go to this more, like you're going to get some where we're like, that did not work out. So like, I get it, but does the good outweigh the bad?
Yeah,
If we're trying to grow the game, if we're trying to get more eyeballs in on the game and get the youth invested, this is just another tool to do that. So I'm okay with it, really. I mean, like I said, the lengthy interviews about what they ate for dinner last night, like I don't need to know that. Like, ask us about a play that happened last inning. Like, what were your thoughts on that? Like, where were you going in that play? Right? Like stuff like that is fine, I think. And like you said, I think a huge point is it's a teaching tool for youth that are watching the game for sure.
People love the behind the scenes stuff. They love the sideline stuff with the NFL. They love they love all of that, like behind the scenes in the game type stuff. That'd be so big for baseball. You can't do the camera over the field like the NFL does because you'd hit it. But like you could do a lot of other cool things to bring people closer to the action because that's what people want. They want to understand like what is going on. Why are they doing all these things? Like why are they moving around like they move around? Like that would be so incredible to share. You'd obviously you'd have to have a way for them to like shut the mic off when they go to the mound to talk with the team. Put it on a 5-second delay so you can dump the swears and anything that they gave up that they shouldn't have. But you could even chop that up the next day and put out all kinds of like incredible learning moments for, the youth baseball players to learn from.
Absolutely. John Carter, camera angles and presentation from MLB The Show, the real MLB production just has to take notes. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't have a problem with it, but I see how some people would, right? It does kind of take away from the viewing experience. Totally get it. And you don't want your guys ultimately distracted, right? I mean, he dives for a ball up the middle and then the mic comes out of his belt, hits him in the back of the head while he's trying to field a ground ball. I mean, like, I can see that, but
yeah.
They should have asked Bartolo Colon questions while he was running the bases. The breathing would sound X-rated, not safe for work. Yeah, not wrong, but
oh man, terrible. But I saw some conversation about this and I thought this would be really cool to talk about because I think it'd be an amazing way to get people inside the game.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right.
All right. So our favorite conversation here. So Mr. Meyer had this comment last week at an event when he was asked what the salary cap. His response was, "It's a cap on player salaries," Meyer said, "not a cap on the commissioner's salary, not a cap on the commissioner's private jet, not a cap on the owner's profits, not a cap on their franchise values. It holds down their labor costs. They want it because salary caps make their franchise values go up. Franchise values go up because the cap holds down the labor costs because it artificially suppresses salaries." So I ask you, Nick, and the rest of the tribe, what do you take from that comment from Mr. Meyer about the MLBPA's stance on a cap?
I mean, he's saying no cap, right? They clearly don't want it, obviously, but
like the kids say, no cap.
No cap. They're not leaving this negotiation with a hard salary cap. There's no way. I think they hold out, and he's not wrong with this comment. By the way, he's not. We've talked about it all the time. Look at the NFL with the salary cap. These franchises are at record highs, right? So I mean, the owners are profiting. He's not wrong, but in the same breath, does the MLB need to do that to get these lower level teams profitable enough to spend? That's where I think the difference is, right? Like you have to cap it to let the Pirates kind of catch up, let the Marlins catch up, let the Rockies catch up, insert bad organization or poor organization here, right? So I think that's what he's not necessarily looking at is like, does it matter for the Dodgers? No. Does it matter for the Yankees? No. Red Sox? No. But these bottom level teams, like a cap really does help them to hopefully spend more to get there. So that's where I'm at with it.
So here's one thing I want to point out. I want to get your take on this. At any point in this quote, and this is basically, this was the direct quote, and everything he said after this was kind of similar. But does he mention baseball at any point in this?
Oh, no.
There's there's zero concern for the game and what's good for the game.
Right.
This is strictly players versus owners. The game of
Hmm.
baseball be damned. It's just in the way. This is strictly the players versus the owners. And nobody cares about the actual game of baseball. That's my
Yeah.
takeaway from this.
Yeah. Yeah. Curtis, winter is coming and it's going to be a long winter for sure. 2027 is dead, 1000%. I mean, this makes me feel like any preliminary talks aren't really going to matter. And you're probably not wrong, Chad. I hate that, but still think a cap is pointless without a floor. Floor is key. And
Yeah.
I think the floor naturally comes in with the cap, right? I think it's just kind of part of the thing. We're just generalizing by saying cap, but we're with you 1000%, Ryan. Like, okay, like if we're capping it off, like we also have to prove, like you've said many times, Harrison, we still have to prove that that money that was had is still available. So that means these teams have to spend to show that that money is available.
Yeah,
So we're
you
with
got to
you,
keep the pool the same total. And
right?
Mike agrees with me in the chat over here. It's always players versus owner. It's never been about helping the game. And I think that's the biggest takeaway for me here is that nobody cares about the game of baseball. This is not about the game. It's not about the fans. I mean, as a fan, I read what he says and I go, okay, but I don't care. I want baseball. Like,
Right,
what are you doing to protect the game? Because if you guys screw this up again, there, it won't matter because you're going to see salaries go down anyways
right.
when fans don't come back and TV contracts are worth less and ticket sales go down and merchandise sales go down and people lose interest in baseball. It's the MLBPA is so worried about the owners getting any more of the pie. And that's what I read here. MLB owners made literally like no money last year. And the MLBPA is still trying to squeeze more out of them. Like somehow they're gonna make, you know, billions of dollars. Most of these teams, when we broke it down like a month or two ago, don't make any damn money anyways.
No,
So it's like, what, they can't give you more. You already have most of the pie. There's really nothing left over.
yeah. At what point would you ever like say salaries just keep going up? Do you think at some point we have, say, a Bobby Witt Jr., I know he's locked up, but let's say a Bobby Witt Jr. hits free agency and he wants that Juan Soto money. He wants that Shohei Ohtani money. And all 32 teams at the time, right, when he's available for to be a free agent, they all just go, no, like we can't, right? And then like nobody signs him. Like Bobby Witt Jr. doesn't sign with the team because the market isn't there. Is there a time where that could actually happen? If there's no cap, if this just keeps going and going and going.
I mean, yeah, I mean, if every team independently evaluates the player and says you're not worth that, then yeah, you could see that stop. But the hard part is there's always that one team, and I know we pick on the Dodgers because they're guilty of it, but other teams have done so with some of these crazy contracts. If one team's willing to give it to you, well, then there you go. But the hard part is that you've now reached a point where, was it, we did the math that day, was it 18 of 30 MLB teams
Yeah.
can't afford to sign any of the free agents in the upper tier? Like,
Right.
just can't do it. It'd be too much payroll for one team to take on. And I don't disagree. 30, 40 million bucks a year for a guy when you've only got a payroll of 125, 150 million. It's kind of hard to give 20% of your payroll to one guy in a sport where one guy doesn't make that big a difference. Like
Right.
it doesn't, it's not, this is not the NFL where like the best quarterback wins, or the NBA where if you've got the best shooter, the best big man, you know, you can write your ticket to the playoffs. One guy in MLB has a way smaller impact than in other sports.
Yep. Agree. Chad said floor and eliminate deferred contracts. The cap will take care of itself. Agree. Um, got the floor and the cap. Now we need the walls to keep the Dodgers in their lane and not deferring anything or everything. Aaron's with us with the, eliminate deferred contracts. And I think that would come with, I hope that would come with the salary cap. Their franchise values went up, though. Yeah, the values of the franchises went up, but they lost collectively. They lost, what was it, 1.5 billion last year?
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
So
1.8 billion. I forget. We covered it, but I mean, value is one thing. The value of the franchise is one thing, because with that you're buying the franchise, the ballpark, or the rights to the ballpark, TV rights.
Right.
You're buying history. Like, there's a lot that goes into the value of a ball club, and that value only means anything if you sell it. But on an ongoing basis, these companies, these teams, these organizations don't actually make any money. You've got owners writing personal checks in to fund them, and at some point you're going to run out of billionaires who are willing to do that.
Yeah.
And you're going to see teams that you can't sell. I mean, we've seen teams on the market, and the Padres sold for a crazy record number. The Twins tried to sell and couldn't put it together. We had the Rays sold at a much lower value because, again, like that, it's not a market that supports a higher value. But you've got if you can't level the revenue, the only way to level the playing field is to level the salaries.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't have you've got the Dodgers making 3 times more than your teams at the bottom.
Right. Michael, this is a great point. They're fighting after the last piece of the pie, but without the fans, there is no pie. And you're not wrong. Yeah, Curtis, it's a pissing contest. It's the beginning of negotiations. The introductory conversation will sound pessimistic, ugly but true. Meyer's just cutting an opening promo. I've learned not to let it bother me. It's the nature of the beast. And that's a fair point. Like, this could be like, hey, this is our initial, like, we can go back from this, but this is exactly what we want. No cap. It's clear as day right here. No cap. So, I mean, fair. So great point, Curtis.
To me, it's not about the salary cap and the opinion of it. It's more the tone of it. It's the fact that the MLBPA is so focused on the owners and the commissioner's office not making any more money. It's not about the players making more money. It's not about the fans having a better experience. It's not about the game being better. It's about, we can't let those owners make more money.
Yeah.
And they already don't make any money.
Right.
It's all about like franchise value.
Like you said, it's nothing pro for his guys. He's pointing the finger across the table is all he's doing.
Exactly. It is like one of those things where I'm willing to cut off my arm if I can cut yours off too.
Yeah.
Like the tone of it sucks.
Yeah.
It just kind of sucks.
I agree. So he looks like an angry John Smoltz in the photo. But yeah. Either way, it's not going to be pretty. I will be shocked if we see any baseball. At what point do you think that they just kibosh the entire year? Do you think if it gets to July 1st and we're still not sitting baseball, they just cancel the rest of the year? Because by the time you come in and you warm guys up, it's going to be August. You're going to have a month and a half of baseball.
I don't think they'll call it dead until they know for a fact they can't get games in, because to them, even a month of the season is something. The players are going to want to get paid. The owners are going to want to make some money. Because at the end of the day, that's what this entire debate is about. It's how do we carve up all this money between us? But that's the heart of the matter. Yeah. It's all about the money. And that's like we've heard many guys on the show, some of the minor leaguers talk about, when you get to see the business side of baseball, it kind of disgusts you with baseball. Mm-hmm. Fans are getting a front row seat to it right now.
Yep.
Nobody here gives a damn about the game of baseball.
No.
They just don't care. Baseball's just the conduit to make money.
Yeah. And Marty, where are you going where your family only costs just a little over $200 to go to a game? Sign me up for that. But Yeah, Fenway Park, if you have a family of 4, you're not leaving there without dropping a G. Easy.
I mean, yeah, $200 doesn't even get you tickets to the game.
Yeah. Crazy, man. Crazy. Opening day 2020 was July 23rd, so they have a lot of time. I mean, that's a fair point for us, but I mean, how much longer? Like, can you go into that? You know what I mean? Like, can you start the season August 1st? They only had a 60 game schedule starting on July 23rd. So, can you go any shorter than 60 games? Like, are we going to be talking about 2027 baseball where it's a 45 game season?
And I
I don't know.
and I question how long the players can hold out. And I question that for a couple of reasons. One, financially, these guys are going to want to get paid. They're not as wealthy as the owners in most cases. So that's number one. Number two is if I'm Aaron Judge and I'm in my mid 30s, I don't want to lose a whole friggin' year over this because in 4 or 5 years when I'm gone, be damned what happens to baseball after that. But I'm not losing my Hall of Fame candidacy because you assholes want to argue over another $1,000,000. I want to get on that field and put up numbers.
That's fair. You take a full season out of Aaron Judge, does he get to the 600 homer mark that we're thinking he could possibly get to? Like,
Right. A lot of these guys are going
that's
to
a
be thinking that way.
huge damn. I didn't even like
If
really
I'm
put
Aaron
that together
Judge,
yet.
if I'm Bryce Harper, if I'm Shohei, like if I'm these guys, I'm thinking I'm building a legacy here. I'm not going to argue over another $1,000,000. I don't care. Get me on the
Right.
field.
Yeah. Whew. Crazy.
I don't think the players will be able to hold out as long as Meyer thinks they can.
Yeah. Curtis Fair. I don't think they'll kill it completely. Worst case, no season. Least case, early June. Best case, right on time. Yeah. I mean, I think ultimately we're with you. I'm just asking, like, where is that threshold? Like, when do they get to where they're just like, okay, like we're ready to go August 1st, but we only got time for 45 games. Like, do they just say, hey, we'll just try again in 28 at that point? Or do they really try to cram in 40 games? I don't know.
I mean, hell, in 2001, we played the World Series in November. So, I mean, we could,
I
if they
mean,
had to,
fair.
they could, they could start on August 1st and probably still get 60 games in and just push the playoffs back.
Yeah, another guy, Ed, great
Yeah.
call. No, sorry, Chris Sale, no 3,000. Yeah, I mean, so many guys right on
Yeah.
the cusp, but
Some of these guys are going to be like, I don't care. I want to get on the field.
yeah. Marty, my point is, why do fans continue to pay outrageous amounts to go to games? The fans are the paying customers. I don't go to games anymore. And it's facts. Like, I mean, I go because I love it, but like I'm like in the last seat in the upper deck in left center field, paying my $40, right? Like, and I take pictures of the game. They're like, "Hey, why are you sitting so far away?" Oh, because I'm not paying $375 to sit behind home plate. Like, that's silly to me, right?
Yeah.
Like, I can still go get a baseball atmosphere in the upper deck, in the bleachers, wherever. Like, there still are seats to be had, but to your point, it still is astronomical, and there's no reason for it. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't go to as many as I would love to because they are expensive. I only go to maybe one or two a year if I'm lucky. It's all triple A, double A around here, and those games are completely affordable. And I'll go to many of those in a summer. So
Yeah. I could take a
yeah,
family of 4 or a family of 5 to the Portland Sea Dogs for friggin' $100.
yeah, yep. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, don't go to Fenway, go to Worcester, 1,000%, right? I mean, it's so much cheaper. I haven't been to an Astros game in a while. I live about 2 hours north of Houston, so it's a trip for me to go to again. Right. I mean, and a lot of MLB fan bases do travel to get to their games, and then you're asking them to pay another $200 to get into the gate is wild. So, I don't know where this ends. And there's so much on the table that I don't even know if I can come up with where the compromise is going to be. Like, where is this middle ground? If both sides concede just a little bit, what does it look like?
Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, they both sides seem so dug in, but more importantly to me on this one was just the tone of his comments was the fact that it's literally like, we just don't want those guys to get any more.
Yeah.
It wasn't about getting more for his guys. It wasn't about the competitiveness. It wasn't about the game. It was strictly about we can't let those guys get any more. It's not.
Yeah.
It's like that's a pretty crappy way to get started.
Brutal.
So. And it's a good point, Curtis. Like millionaires versus billionaires, and Kyle Tucker sucks. Kyle Tucker has been a huge disappointment in LA, just like he was last year in Chicago. Not all these huge contracts work out.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't care if he's there or not. So there's
and I think that's the case. I think that is true. Like that team is a wagon, regardless of whether or not he's good.
Yeah. Yeah. It's wild. But
all right. So the Seattle Mariners were the first team in MLB ever to honor a Negro Leagues team by wearing a kind of, historical jersey on the field. So my question, all that. So they gave a jersey to the Negro League Hall of Fame to honor the fact that they wore the steelhead jersey on the field.
And they still
my question,
do.
all that. What's that?
They still do. Every Sunday they wear them.
Yeah. They're the first ones to ever do it in a game. Now they're going to keep doing it. But my question in all this is MLB doing enough to honor the Negro Leagues? They spent all that time to integrate them, and then kind of nothing came from it. So is MLB doing enough?
I mean, no, right? I mean, if this is really the only team to honor and celebrate the Negro Leagues, then I'm gonna say no. I mean, I've seen more in the past 3 months out of the Indianapolis Clowns and Banana Ball celebrating the Negro Leagues than I have out of MLB. And I mean, I get it, right? They have the Clowns name. They bought the rights to the Indianapolis Clowns. But when David Griffin was on here and talking about like the cleats he has, he busted them out. I don't know if you've seen them. They are absolutely insane.
They're
sick.
super cool.
Oh my God. It's got like Satchel Paige, Josh Gibson cards on there, pictures, their numbers, and they're going in the Negro League Hall of Fame. Did you see that?
Oh, I didn't. That's awesome.
Yeah. So he got those. And he was the first player for the Indianapolis Clowns to throw a banana ball. So the ball he pitched and the cleats that he is wearing in KC are going to the Negro League Hall of Fame. So awesome. I thought that was pretty damn cool. But they're doing so much stuff around that they're celebrating. Then he couldn't talk enough about, he couldn't wait to get to KC to play at Kauffman Stadium for this reason, because they're really going to dive into it. So I look at that and I look at the opportunities that the MLB could have had with all of these historical teams coming from cities that they play in, and they don't celebrate it. They don't. The MLB does not honor the Negro Leagues enough in my eyes.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to agree, and I was going to use Indianapolis Clowns as an example. Banana Ball has done more in the last 3 months than MLB has done in the last 10 years. And I'm not saying that MLB necessarily has to. Like, there's not like some sort of like requirement from the fans that they do so many things a year to honor the Negro Leagues. But I look at all the other dumb stuff that MLB supports, and it's like, why not this? Like, why not? For the longest time, they were struggling because they could not attract African American children to baseball. Your Black communities did not support baseball, and they made that huge push. I remember, it was Torrey Hunter who was like the middle of it in like the 90s and 2000s, and Adam Jones was part of it. Like, they made this big push to bring baseball back to the Black communities, and like I want to say one of the players that spoke about that impacting them was Mookie Betts, and then like all of it stopped. Like, those guys retired, and like nobody carried the mantle forward. I feel like MLB is really good at reacting to the public outcry and doing just enough to get it to go away, and then going back to their old ways. I think you spent all that time integrating the Negro Leagues stats. You spent You did that big unveiling on a friggin' Tuesday night when nobody was paying attention. You've got one team that's wearing a jersey that represents an old team. Like either do it or don't, but don't half-ass it like
Right.
they've been doing.
Yeah. I'm with you. And there was a huge push for it. Like, Griffey bringing up the fact that, hey, we should all be wearing Jackie Robinson's number. Like, what are
Right.
we even doing? What are we even doing here? Right. And then you're right. That whole crew there was a really big component. Like, you saw them at Boys and Girls Club. CC Sabathia was always out and did a
Yep.
ton of stuff with Boys and Girls Club, right? You saw him everywhere. That's at least gone away in the public eye. Like, we don't see players do that anymore. Like, here and there, maybe, but it's not thrown in our face like it was then. And like, I mean, Curtis says, I truly appreciate that you brought this topic up. So nice job, Harrison. But I'm with you. Like, I don't think that they've done enough to honor the Negro Leagues at this moment. And your point about them just doing enough to kill the buzz,
Yep.
right? Oh, they're starting to talk about it. Let's do something to kind of nip it in the bud, and it goes away, right? The Seattle Steelhead jerseys are sick. I love them.
They're nice.
They're so sweet. And there are some others. I think Ryan said it back here. I guess the Royals wear Monarchs jerseys on occasion. I haven't seen that yet, but I would love
I've
to.
never seen it, but MLB referenced them as the first team to wear a replica Negro League jersey in like an actual regular season game.
Yeah, and it's part of their uniform rotation, I believe, because
every Sunday it's an alternate.
Was it Cardinals and Giants that played in Birmingham last year?
Rickwood, yeah.
Rickwood. It was Giants and Cardinals, I'm pretty sure.
I know it was the Cardinals because I'm pretty sure Burleson hit a home run in that game.
Yeah, he did. So, I mean, like, that stuff's cool. I would love for them to do more of that. But, like, again, that was just kind of a one and done, right? It was like, okay, we did it, like, moving on. Let's go back into our NASCAR. We'll go back into the white lane over here and do it at a race car track. No, like, continue honoring the history of baseball. The Negro Leagues is a huge part of baseball history and what those guys brought to the game, and continue to still make impacts on today's game. MLB needs to find a way to celebrate it more.
Yeah, I agree. And if you want to keep getting baseball deeper into these communities, whether they're white communities, black communities, doesn't matter. Like, you have to continue to grab at those important aspects and make them part of the game. And this is a great way to do that. An alternate, but it makes the Negro Leagues a discussion topic in Seattle again.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
they're gonna wear the uniform a total of like 16 times this year, but it's gonna bring up the conversation every time.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's something as simple as like, hey, Dad, why do the uniforms look different today? And then the dad can tell them.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, I totally agree. Baseball History Door says, let's not forget that incorporating Negro League stats was huge. Yeah.
Massive.
And that didn't come without backlash, which I still can't understand that part. Right. I really can't. I can't wrap my mind around why you wouldn't incorporate these guys. These guys played at the highest level of baseball that they were allowed to at that time.
Yep.
There's no question to me that they belong in MLB record books. I think it's silly that you would try to differentiate the two. But Greg says, I mean, I think the hardest part is just educating people about the Negro Leagues, because I would think a majority of casual fans don't even know much about it besides recognizing that it existed. And I think that's part of it. And that's what I love about MLB The Show. For any of you guys that play that, they do have storylines. And this guy that's in the middle, his name has escaped me, and it's terrible.
That's Kendrick, the guy that runs the Negro League Hall of Fame.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. He does stories about all the moments you can play of all these Negro League stars over time, and you can relive their highlights of their careers, and he talks through their careers, and like they played numerous positions and all of that stuff. So it's really cool. Like if you're into any type of baseball history, just running through those storylines and listening to this guy talk about his extensive knowledge of the Negro Leagues is impressive. And it's a really cool aspect of the game. But again, that's a video game doing more than what the MLB is doing. So it's just MLB needs to do more.
The storylines are awesome. They did Cool Papa Bell on one of them, and it was like,
Yeah.
Bob Kendrick at one point is like walking you through the area of the museum that he's in and talking about his career, and then they show the stories that he came up as a pitcher, and he like all like stuff. I learned so much about Cool Papa Bell that I didn't know just from that.
Yeah.
Like I found myself rewatching some of the videos to catch more of the facts and almost ignoring that was part of the game.
Right. Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. Curtis says after Buck O'Neill passed, it was up to us to keep it going. A rich tradition that's beyond nostalgia. Yeah. Yeah, everybody should follow Bob Kendrick on Facebook. Thank you. I can't believe his name was. Many people are too
encyclopedia baseball.
Yeah. And Marty, this is also a fair point, but still doesn't quite it's still not an excuse, but I get it, right? Most people are too young to know, appreciate, and understand the whole segregation and civil rights struggles blacks went through. 1,000%. Like that's a huge part of this, right? And maybe that's just the youth not quite understanding. They've never lived in a world quite like that. Are there still instances of that? 1,000%. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's completely wiped out, right? Racism's still a thing, but unfortunately still a thing. But they're never going to understand what it was like back then during segregation. So like and that's a hard thing to teach, right? Like how do you teach somebody that never saw what that looked like? It's hard. So the best thing we can do is to keep these guys' legacies going on and being like, these were damn good baseball players. They probably would have been the best players in the MLB if they were allowed to. So that's the hard part here. But bottom line, MLB doesn't do enough. They need to do more. I would love get rid of these stinking city connects, man. Just stop it. And just stop it and do exactly what the Seattle Mariners are doing. Make it your home weekend alternate. Why not? If your city has a rich tradition of a Negro League team being there, why not? Why not put that uniform back into circulation?
Yeah, and if you're not in a market where there was a Negro League team, then just do a throwback. But it'd be nice to see more of the history of baseball tied in, not these new cuts at current stuff. Like we say on the show all the time, there's over 100 years of history here, and most of us know very little of it, myself included. Help us learn more about it. Like,
right.
Continue to share the story of the game.
Yeah. I mean, Curtis says, I need to go deeper with it. I'm not ashamed to say this. I still want to know more about Josh Gibson. A lot of us do, right? Amen. I mean, from the stories, they say this guy hit over 800 career home runs, but is only tracked for 168. Like that's also the hard part is they didn't have the stats or the compilation of stats because they weren't kept. So that's the hard part of all this, right? When we're trying to compare these guys to MLB guys, but it still doesn't take away from their greatness, and their story still should be told all the time, more than it is. So yeah, and Greg, agree. There should be no reason the Red Sox have two city connects in rotation, right? Listen, keep your standard. If you're Boston Red Sox, for example, keep your home whites, keep your road grays, and then have a city connect, have a Negro League uniform. Those are your 4 for the year. Done. It's not tough, right? I mean, come on now. Yeah, and Nostalgic Baseball Geezer says the Negro League Museum in KC is a great place, and that is when I get out to a Royals game. That is my stop in the morning before the game for sure.
Yep.
I'll spend all day there. So, oh yeah, and Curtis, we are totally with you. It's deeper than Jackie. It sounds crass, but it's true, 1,000%. And we, as avid baseball fans, know that it's deeper than Jackie, right? We understand that. But again, the casual fan doesn't. And that's where doing something like the Seattle Mariners are doing for all the teams across the nation would be a great thing to bring more attention to what the Negro Leagues were and what it has brought to the game today. So,
yeah, I mean, ditto to all of that. This is such a huge topic, and I just brought it up because I was shocked to see the fact that this is the first team that's got a Negro League uniform in rotation, and I found that shocking.
Yeah,
and I've said it before on the show, like all this Negro League stats, they released it like on a random Tuesday night, no big fanfare, no big publicity, and then it was over.
And
like, no follow up.
And we raked the MLB over the coals when that came out. When was that? 2 years ago? 3 years ago, Harrison?
I want to say 2 years ago. I want to say it was 24 because that was the Rickwood game, right? It was just before that.
And me and you sat here for a good hour and a half just demolishing the MLB for doing that. It wasn't the fact that they did it. It was the fact of just like, oh, hey, and by the way, the Negro League stats are integrated now.
Yeah, there was no follow-up, no big announcement, no sharing of what they learned. It was just like, hey, they're out there. Cool. We did it. We did a thing. And that was it. It was done.
Brutal.
And they've never mentioned it again.
No. Terrible. Ed says they also didn't have the visibility. Sad, but most folks want to see the games. I'd love to know more, but it's hard to find. And that's what I'm hoping. Like, if when KC and St. Louis are on my like next to go to stadiums, and when I get there, like that's a question I want to ask a curator. Like, where can I find all of this stuff when I'm at home? Right? Like, what are some good websites I can go to? Like, that's not going to lead me down a dark alley. Like some good straight facts where I can find the real information. Because I would love to sit here. Because, like you said, like, can you look it up on YouTube? You can probably find some clips.
There's stuff.
Yeah. But like, give me the real stuff. Where can I find this stuff? Okay, Nostalgic Baseball Geezer says Phil Dixon is a good author of Negro League books. So
cool.
That's a good one. Phil Dixon. That's good. I'll write that one down for sure. So,
and like the other part of it, like they did the Rookwood event, you had all those old Negro League players that were in attendance that were sharing stories. Nobody captured any of that from MLB on video. There was no interviews. There was no storytelling sessions. There was nothing. You brought all these guys together and did nothing with it.
Yeah.
Like it's the kind of stuff that makes me nuts.
Yeah. 1,000%. John Temple said they said the museum is moving to a bigger location as well. They have outgrown the 10,000 square foot space it's in. That's awesome. I love that.
That's wild. It is only in 10,000 square feet.
Well, I mean, 10,000 square feet is still quite big, but I mean, yeah. Well, compared to I guess it's really not that big. Really?
It's really 10, not that big.
It sounds big.
I guess maybe I just have a different opinion, you know.
Yeah, Harrison's just sitting up there in his mansion up in Bedford Cove. I get it. But no, I mean,
oh god.
It's cool that, you know, like when they were integrating these stats, they did come out and say like, hey, like we're still really researching this and we're still adding stats in like as we find them. But they're like still trying to dig through old newspapers and archives and like piecing games together. Like that's how intricate of lack of stats that they had for these guys is they're trying to piece games together through newspapers, which is insane, right? Because it might say like Josh Gibson got a hit in the third, Satchel Paige struck out 2 in the 6th. Okay, that was on May 12th, right? So they put that over here in this column in that game, but that's all they have from that game. Then they go to another newspaper and they find a couple more tidbits in the story, and then they put it like they're patchworking games together, not even seasons, games. And that's kind of the hard part about this, but yeah. But it's okay. The SABR bios for individual players are a good resource. So that's good to know.
Yeah, those are good. I've used those for a lot of research.
Yeah. So the league should have teams do frequent story time videos with old players from their teams to keep the history alive. And that would be a great one too. Right? Have current players sit down with old players and just pick their brains. Would love that.
Crazy thought. Maybe we could do one less Shohei Ohtani post each day and actually post something about the history of baseball. Like maybe even an on this day in baseball history. Wild thought.
Harrison.
I know.
Come on now.
Crazy talk.
Come on now. Don't go overboard with this. But like seriously though, I mean, absolutely. There's so much. The bottom line, the answer to this question is no. The MLB does not do enough to honor the Negro Leagues. Bottom line.
Done. Period. Full stop.
Yeah. And kudos to the Seattle Mariners. So
yeah, somebody gets it.
Yeah. Love it.
There's a lot of things in Seattle they're not doing well, but this they got.
Yeah, we won't get into that because that would take us a long time to break down. So
yeah.
All right, on to trivia. And it looks like we got some new trivia tonight, Harrison.
Yeah, I've been toying with this concept for a couple of weeks because we talk about so many of like baseball's biggest moments, but we don't always talk about the other side of that moment. So for the hell of it, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to throw this out here and we'll see how it goes. I call this segment "Take a Walk on the Other Side." So we're going to look at the reverse side of some of baseball's biggest moments, not who hit the ball, but who threw it.
Oh, goodness. All right.
I will admit some of these I think are pretty easy. Some of these I think are very hard. It's a good mix here, but if nothing else, you'll learn something from the trivia. So
1,000%. There's a couple that stick out for me already, but there's a couple where like I don't have a clue.
Yeah, and I tried to give you a little bit of help to help you narrow it down to who it could be, but like I didn't give you explicit hints on the guy, but I do have hints if we need them.
All right, sounds good.
I thought this would just be fun. Let's look at the other side of some of baseball's biggest moments. Just simple questions. We'll see how it goes, but these are all offensive moments, so they're big hits of some sort.
All right, so here we go.
All right, so I'll start off with one of our favorite non-Hall of Famers. Barry Bonds hit home run number 71 to move past Mark McGwire on October 5th, 2001 against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Which pitcher gave up this first inning home run? Now, this is a pitcher who has been involved in a couple of historic moments that we all remember fondly.
Oh, I think I know who this is then.
It is.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that second hint got it. Yeah, John Carter, definitely. Chan-Ho Park. Good one.
It is Chan-Ho Park. Chan-Ho Park had a few moments there where he was on the wrong end of history. Yeah, Mike Reed's got it in chat over here.
Yeah. Yeah, Chan-Ho Park. 2 grand slams by Fernando Tatis. Ring a bell?
Wait, he had 2 grand slams? No kidding, huh?
Yeah. Man. He's given up some big home runs.
He really has. I mean, he's also pitched a lot of big innings and stuff like that. So
I mean, that
comes with the territory, but yikes.
I wouldn't call the first inning against the St. Louis Cardinals necessarily a big inning. Well, I mean, it ended up being a huge inning.
Ended up being a big inning.
But that's not on him. That's on his manager for leaving him in still.
Well, there's that too.
I mean, to load the bases twice in 1 inning and then you're still pitching to that guy 14 players later, that's an issue.
Yeah, you had to get through a lot of guys to get back to him.
Anywho.
So, yeah. All right. So staying with that theme, Barry Bonds hit home run number 73 on October 7th, 2001, also against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Also in the first inning. Which pitcher gave up this first inning home run?
So somebody else on the Dodgers staff in 2001. this is where you're gonna get me because I can't. I don't think I can remember another name on that staff other than Chan Ho Park.
And this one is a harder one, so I've got some hints for you. So we'll give it a second. I'll start throwing some hints out there. This will be a hard one to get, but he's a guy that I do remember, but I remember for a different reason.
Okay. An inning against the Cardinals is a big inning. Put respect on the name. Love that. Highlight says Terry Adams.
Great guess, not Terry Adams.
Jamie Moyer. Yeah, not
I
Jamie
will say this guy, his focus pitch was a knuckleball.
In 2001?
In 2001.
For the Dodgers?
For the Dodgers.
I mean, was Charlie Huff 67 at the time?
No, this was not Charlie Huff.
Dickey never played for the Dodgers.
Nope. Oh, Curtis has got it.
Wakefield. Dennis Springer. Not in my knowledge there.
So Dennis Springer's biggest seasons came with the Angels and the Rays. I remember him with the Rays. He was part of that 98 Rays team the Red Sox seemed to fight with every series.
Dang. I no knowledge of that. That's crazy. Wow.
That's right. Like I said, some of these are going to be harder. Others are pretty,
yeah,
I think a lot more obvious.
Nice. Good one.
All right. On July 1st, 2004, Derek Jeter dove into the stands to make the catch against the Red Sox. Which player hit the ball that Jeter caught in what we all know is Nick Arno's favorite catch of all time?
Had to throw in that last tidbit, huh, Harrison?
Yes, that made the whole question for me, Nick. Made the whole question.
I obviously know who hit this. But
I'm assuming you would.
Brutal. So they're not all pitching questions.
I guess so. This is the one that is not on offense.
Yeah. It is absolutely Trot Nixon. Nice job, Michael. Yeah.
And good bonus points. Do you know who the pitcher was depicted here?
Oh.
The Red Sox had a lot of history with this guy, not just in New York.
Is it Tanyan Sturtz?
It absolutely is Tanyan Sturtz.
Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be?
Of all people, it's got to be Tanyan Sturtz.
Tanyan Sturtz, man. That's awesome. Yeah. Some good guesses in there. Nomar, Bellhorn. Is he on the wall behind Nick? No. Yeah, it was Trot for sure.
Nice try, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
I just remember the drag down fight that I got in with Sean about this play and about how Jeter actually caught the ball in fair territory. And Sean goes, "There's no way he did." And I go, "Dude, he did that. He did." But anyways, we won't get into that. But
he caught it and took like 3 more steps before he dove in. Now I get it. He was running fast and all that. Remember, we got a bad review on our page because I told a guy in chat that I thought he could have slowed down.
Right. Yeah.
And the dude thought it was a wild take. But anyways.
What really needs to happen is they need to get rid of these knee height walls. Is what really needs to happen around MLB. We see so many outfielders going over towards the sides and trying to like jump for a ball and just getting their legs taken out from under. Like you're asking for a Derek Jeter dive play like that, or for a player to just, get his knees up in his face because the wall's taking him out. Like they got to raise those walls a little bit, I think. But anyways. All right. Next one.
All right. Next one. On October 23rd, 1993, Joe Carter hit a 3-run walk-off home run to win the World Series against the Philadelphia Phillies. Which pitcher gave up this historic home run? Like I said, some of these are easy. I think everybody's going to jump on this one.
This guy's nickname, maybe?
Took me to figure out what you're like. I was like, is that an Atlanta Brave? What is that?
No, it's
I got it.
It's Ricky Vaughn.
It's Ricky Vaughn. I got it. Yeah. It took me a second. And I'm like, oh, now I see what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. It's absolutely a wild thing. Mitch Williams for sure. Layup. But
yeah. I mean, I had to give you guys some easier ones because some of these are harder.
Yeah. Mitch, I just like watching his delivery, man, when he literally would almost like somersault after every pitch was just crazy.
It was crazy. Like, I'm not sure how he didn't hurt himself.
Yeah. But yeah. Yeah, everybody got that one. Nice job. Layups. All right. Next one.
All right. On October 3rd, 1951, Bobby Thompson hit the shot heard round the world against the Dodgers to win the pennant. Which reliever gave up this home run?
I should know this name too.
And you're going to kick yourself when you hear it too.
I've definitely heard it.
A guy that unfortunately
yes,
carried this moment around with him for a long time.
Thank you, John Carter. Broncos, definitely correct. Yep.
Yeah, that is correct.
Nice. Yeah.
A guy who had a pretty good career, but this moment really just followed him.
I mean, it kind of can't not, right? Yeah. I mean, like this is arguably one of the biggest home run in history, other than you could argue Mazeroski's Game 7, walk-off, right? But I mean, like, this is the most famous walk-off homer ever, I would argue, right? Is there one bigger than this?
I mean, Fisk, but I guess it didn't win. Like, you didn't win the series because of it. You just survived.
Yeah, but I would say this is number one most famous walk-off.
When you think of famous walk-offs, it's this one, Joe Carter,
Mazeroski.
Those are the two that really jump out to me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry, Mazeroski too. I skipped him. Those are the three when I think of that are the big ones.
I mean, I agree, right, Forrest? Because I mean, it won a World Series, but like this one's got the name, it's got the nickname, it's got the shot heard around the world, right? Like Mazeroski's doesn't really have a name to it, I guess, for lack of better word. It was bigger, I agree, but I think it's just famous doesn't necessarily mean was bigger, right? Mazeroski's meant more, obviously, but I just think Bobby Thompson's is more famous, if you will, if there's a difference. But anyways. All right.
Here we go. On September 6th, 1995, Cal Ripken Jr. broke Lou Gehrig's consecutive games played streak. During the bottom of the fourth inning, Cal hit a home run against the Seattle Mariners starter. Obviously before the game became official in the fifth. Which pitcher gave up that home run?
Jeff Fassero.
That's a great guess. No. This is a hard one.
I mean, someone's going to say it. Jamie Moyer.
No, not Moyer.
This is a hard one. So I got to pull a random Seattle starter out of my butt here, huh?
I mean, ideally, yeah.
Billy Swift.
I mean, not a totally random guy. I mean, he's around the league for a little while.
We got Bosio in the chat.
That's a good guess. Not Bosio.
Andy Bennis.
It is a B, but it's not Bosio.
Bennis? Box?
Nope.
It's a B, huh? Bender.
This guy was a Cub before he became a Mariner.
Batista. Too early.
Yeah, too early.
A Cub before a Mariner. Birkbeck?
No.
That was John Carter's guess.
Yeah.
A Cub before a Mariner with a B.
Yeah, so in 96, he was the Angels wins and innings pitch leader. His first start in 1990, he threw a complete game 5-hit shutout in his MLB debut.
We got Mike Bilecki. We got Eric Bedard.
Those are all great guesses. You guys like all right around this guy. He's best known for some of the best hitters of that generation. Gwynn, Clark, Molitor, none of those guys could hit him. They all had sub 200 averages. Like he was really tough on good hitters.
Man, we have Billingsley as a guess.
Another great guess. This is going to be one of those guys you're going to hear the name and go, "Oh, okay, I remember him." But he's hard, he's a tough guy to place because he was one of those under the radar, solid starters for a stretch.
Sean Bosky.
It was
Sean
Bosky.
Bosky. Wow. I could have sat here all night. Ryan making up dudes again.
That's what we do. We make dudes up.
Yeah. Man, Bosky. That's a name I haven't heard in a minute.
Yeah.
Wow.
A guy that had like a weird career, like stretches of dominance and then like nothing.
Yeah. Man.
But
good one. Crazy.
All right. One of your favorite players, Nick. On September 29th, 1954, Willie Mays made the catch during Game 1 of the World Series. Which Indians player hit the ball that Mays famously tracked down?
I'm pretty sure I know this one, but I'm going to wait a minute. Boschio. I mean, close enough. We'll take it.
I like it.
Yep. Vic Wertz.
That would be correct.
Yes. Absolutely. Nice job, Marty. And Michael. Nice. Yep. Baseball history dork is all over this trivia segment. Love it. Yeah.
Love
so
it.
is Curtis. Love it. You guys got it. All right.
All right. Another layup for you guys. On October 15th, 1988, Kirk Gibson hit a walk-off home run to win Game 1 of the World Series. Which Oakland Athletics legend gave up this home run?
Oh, man. No clue.
Mark Mulder.
Zito. Chad Bradford.
Chad Bradford.
You
got to say it as dirty as you can.
Yeah, right. Absolutely, Eckersley. That one's obviously, guys. That one's a layup. Nice.
Yeah, I got to balance some layups in with some harder ones.
Thank you. I appreciate that. The father of all walk-offs.
Yeah, it's up there.
Probably not kidding. Man, that's something we'd have to probably, when we have no baseball in 2027, is to like rank our top 10 walk-offs of all time. That would be a fun segment.
We could rank so many things.
Oh yeah, for sure. So Curtis stopped acting. I know I'm not a good actor. I'm sorry. All right.
Oh God. All right. This would be I will be really impressed if somebody gets this one. On September 19th, 2024, Shohei Ohtani created the 50-50 club, hitting his 50th home run and stealing his 50th base against the Miami Marlins. Which pitcher gave up this historic home run?
Ugh. 2024 Marlins is right up my alley.
I know. We all know these guys.
Oh my God, man. This is gotta be some random dude. All right.
I wasn't going to put it in. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it because I'm just that mean.
Holy smokes here.
No, this is a guy for the record that was expected to be a really big impact player because he had a massive year in 2023 with Baltimore and then just fell off a cliff.
Okay, so all of them?
I mean, yeah, basically. He spent his first 3 years in Baltimore, then went to he played with 5 teams in 2024. He couldn't stay. He couldn't hang on.
Curtis has got Mike Bauman.
Oh, that is exactly who it is.
Wow. Nice job, Curtis.
This guy was a stud in 23 with the Orioles and then just lost it and has not come back since.
Wow. Curtis, nice pull, man. I'm impressed.
Yeah, I was like, man, I don't know sure if anybody will get this. I remember him. I couldn't have told you his name, but I remember him from the clips.
I couldn't have told you that he was on the Marlins. I think I remember the stint with the Orioles, but I couldn't have told you that he was on the Marlins.
Yeah,
That's
he was
wild.
their best reliever in 2023 and then
Yeah.
just lost it.
Yeah. 5 teams in 1 year. Is that a record?
I don't
I
know.
don't know. Let me
In
message Tommy Pham and
2024,
we'll get back to you.
yeah, in 2024, he went Baltimore, Seattle, San Fran, LA, Miami.
Damn.
It's a lot of teams. And he only appeared in 45 games.
Wow. Yeah. Stud into dud 1,000%.
Yeah, like a
Yeah.
rough fall off. And he's back in the minors, I believe, trying to work his way back up.
Wow. It's impressive.
All right, last one. Hank Aaron hit home run number 715 to move past Babe Ruth on April 8th, 1974 against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Which pitcher gave up this 4th inning home run?
I know this one. I got this one for sure.
I would imagine most of chat will jump on this one.
Yeah.
And yes, Michael, that was an Uncle Curve he was throwing.
Yeah. Marty, 1,000%. Al Downing for sure.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Everyone's going to smoke this one. That was a layup. Love it. Yeah. So, yeah, he just got paid to fly all over the country. Yeah. Like Bauman. Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Base Blister Dork. It is a record shared with 2 other guys.
Wow. Who are those 2 other guys? Does it say for us?
Yeah, I'd be curious. That's 5 teams in a season's a lot.
I don't even know if I could remote. It'd have to be some like relief pitcher, right? That just probably like came up, DFA'd or released.
Was it last year the Angels cut a guy like on September 1st and he bounced around to like 2 other teams and played for like 3 teams in like a month?
Yeah. So, yeah. Love it. Yeah, here's the pitch by Downing. Yep. 1,000% in history. So, all right. Wanted to tell you guys of confirmed upcoming guests the next couple Sundays. Pretty freaking excited for these. And we have possibly others joining us. So stay tuned. So next Sunday, May 31st, we have author Marshall Garvey and former pitcher Charlie Liebrandt a week from today, May 31st, to talk about the book Interstate 85 and about the Royals Cardinals World Series in 85. It'll be really cool to hear about the author, his story, how he got involved with this, the interviews, and then Charlie's like journey to the Royals through this World Series, his career. Next Sunday is going to be absolutely incredible. I cannot wait to dive into this. Again, I was 1 year old when I did this, so I've done a lot of reading on this. I still have to read the book. So I got my homework to do this week, but absolutely incredible. Cannot wait for this interview. It is going to be a blast. So next, I won't bring up the 91 World Series with Liebrandt. You don't have to because we were going to. Because, I mean, he was a part of this one. He pitched not great, but it's still the best World Series, I think, ever. The 91 World Series is unreal. So, I mean, I think you have to ask questions about it. I mean, what does that Game 7 even look like as a, innocent bystander that's not pitching in that game? So, it's got to be insane. So, but pretty cool. Can't wait for that as well. Then the following Sunday, June 7th, we have another former Brewer, Matt Gamble, Sunday, June 7th. So Matt Gamble came up around the same time, Mark Rogers and our guest last week, Zach Paddock, and all. That's how I've kind of networked with these guys. So it'd be cool to actually have a hitter on. We've had a couple pitchers on lately. It'd be really cool to have a hitter come up. The name Gamble might ring a bell to you, Harrison.
I'm trying to figure out why it does.
Yeah, it should. He has a brother that still plays.
Oh, no kidding.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Ben Gamble.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Ben Gamble's his brother. And I think they both came up in the Brewers for a while. So they played together. So they're probably gonna have some pretty cool stories. But looking forward to that. He's excited to come on. I've been texting back and forth. I told him it'd be in a couple Sundays because Sundays work better for him. So pretty cool. But I do
Sweet.
have a couple other messages for other days. And yeah, Nick's making his way through the 2010-2011 Brewers roster. Listen, I'm gonna take the networking where I can take it. So I love hearing these guys' stories. I mean, they're just so uniquely different, like we said, that it's going to be cool to get it from the other side of the ball now. Like, what did the hitters look like on that team? Like, who did you look up to at that time? So it's going to be really freaking awesome. So cannot wait for that. Yeah, we have a Brewers connection. We had Mark Rogers on, man, about a month ago now, Harrison. It's been a little bit. I played high school against him. He's from Maine, so I had that connection there. So still got a few other connections we're working out here, but it's growing, and then networking is becoming pretty awesome. So I'm loving this, and can't wait to talk to both of them. So a couple really cool shows coming up in the next couple Sundays, and can't wait for it. So yeah, pretty exciting stuff. Round and third baseball.
Yeah, all good stuff.
Yeah. We don't care. It's just as funny. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I just, if I can find the connections, I'm gonna get the connections. I mean, it was like Terry for a while there. Terry Shumpert was giving me all like the Rockies guys, and unfortunately, none of them really got back to me. I'm still kind of working those a little bit. So yeah, I got to go down a few years to get Robin Yount, but
Yeah.
we'll stay in the Brewers category and see what we can pull. But yeah, I it's just awesome. And honestly, like I said it last show, is like I love talking to these guys that had to work their asses off to get here. Like guys that didn't necessarily stay, like it was either an injury or they spent a lot of time in the minors and they finally got their shot. Man, I don't care if you saw one pitch in the major leagues and you grounded out to second. Like, I still want to hear your story, man. You got there. How did you do it? I didn't get to, right? So that's what I love about it. But anyways, do you got anything else to add before we pop off for the night?
I got a few things. Not sure if you saw today, but both Dylan Cease and Vladdy Jr. left the Blue Jays game with injuries. Cease with a hamstring. Vladdy got hit by a pitch and he's being evaluated. The Blue Jays' troubles just continue. They can't keep anybody healthy up there.
Yeah,
it's bad.
Man. Terrible.
Bad. So yeah. And then in really positive news, the Marlins had a walk-off grand slam today to finish their sweep of the Mets. So the Mets continue to Met. Love watching that. Heriberto Hernandez, or Heriberto Hernandez. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right.
Hernandez works.
Yeah, Yeah, exactly. It was a 4-0 walk-off win. So, a 0-0 game until very, very deep into the game.
Yeah.
And walked him off. Love to see the Mets keep metting.
It's crazy. And God, man. And they're in last place by 2.5 games. Like, it's not close.
Not good.
Yikes. Man,
it's a disaster.
The Braves only have 18 losses, man. That is wild. The Rays only have 16.
Yeah, it's absurd.
Dang.
Yeah, the Braves are up 9 on the Nationals, who are at 500 in second place.
And I mean, I knew the Rays were playing well, but I never would have put them at 16 losses. This is like the first time I've looked at the standings in a couple weeks. Wow.
Yeah, they're just wrecking teams. Like, they just come into town and just consistently just roll over people.
Yeah, Greg, rough year for me as a Red Sox Mets fan. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'd be watching Banana Ball at this point if I was in your spot or adopt a new team.
Yeah. Astros swept the Cubs on the road.
Well,
Wow.
that was my next point is if you haven't noticed, the Cubs have now lost 8 straight. They've fallen back to reality like we said they would a week ago when asked, are we buying the Cubs? I wasn't buying the Cubs yet. This is exactly why. I don't think that team is that good. I think they're good, but they weren't as good as they were, and they've come back to reality pretty fast.
I think they're just like that ultimate hot and cold team,
Yep.
right? I mean, to have 2 10-game winning streaks already, but then still not really be in charge of the Central says of how bad they are between those streaks,
Yeah.
right? Like, just not consistent. They're either best team in the league or they're the worst team in the league. There's no middle ground.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And you got the Detroit Tigers who are completely lost in the Central. The Royals right there with them. Both teams have lost. The Tigers have lost 8 of their last 10. Kansas City's lost 7 of their last 10, and they're getting just left behind by the field at this point.
So, Skubal a Dodger. Yes, right?
Has to be. You cannot justify not trading him. You cannot be 10 and a half games out and 5.5 games out of the wild card in July and not be exploring a trade. Now, if they have a crazy couple of months and they reclaim the Central lead, then yeah, different story. But if they're sitting in the same spot in 60 days, he's got to go.
What is the backlash when he is traded to the Dodgers?
I don't know if there is any backlash because I think everybody knows he's going to go. I feel like if the team's not competitive, then it's easy. If they were leading the Central and still traded them, I could see the fans being mad. But he's not signing there. He's not coming back. It was just like when we were in the Xander Bogaerts situation a couple years ago as Red Sox fans. We're like, we know he's not coming back. Dump him. Get something for him. And they didn't.
Yeah.
I think fans will be more pissed if they don't trade him and get nothing when he leaves.
I'm not necessarily talking about the trading part. I'm talking about who he's getting traded to.
Oh, it's people. The whole world will implode that the Dodgers are going to get one more pitcher. But Ryan, this is 100% it. It's like turning off trade refusal in a video game. It's ridiculous. It's true. I mean, there's already rumors flying around. The Dodgers are already considered to be the leader for Skubal when he's available.
Yeah. Curtis, who says it's the Dodgers? I mean,
everybody.
Right. I mean, for real, they have the farm to get him. Right. They have the young kids that are there that they can ship to Detroit to get him. I'm not saying other teams don't, but I see the Dodgers coming in and just blowing the socks off the Tigers, and they're like, yeah, like we have to take those guys.
Yeah, I mean, there's an article that came out today where you've got MLB insiders and reporters already predicting he goes to the Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
Like that article I just clipped in there is from today.
Yeah.
Everybody's already making their bets.
Yeah. He's not even pitching. He's barely throwing overhand right now. Crazy.
Yeah, like Bob Nightingale posted, the question is not when the Detroit Tigers trade him, it's how long will he actually remain a Tiger when he does return. So it's like, we know he's going. It's just like, when is he going?
It's
the minute he's healthy, he's gone.
Yeah. It's the defergers for sure. Love that. It's going to cost them the farm, the tractor, and the farmer's wife. And I don't think they care at this point. They don't.
They don't.
Get us that.
And by the way, the Dodgers have a great farm system.
Right. Yeah.
So they can pay the cost to get him.
Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, maybe another team goes in and blows their socks off, but I just again, it's gonna be a 3-team race? Yankees, Dodgers, and
I mean the Mets are gonna be so far out of it won't matter.
That's what I'm saying. Braves make an offer?
Athletics. Come on, be the Athletics.
God, man, that would be sick. However, I don't want to break up that core, and you know that it would.
I could see the Cubs and the Padres make a push.
Oh God, he would look awful in brown and yellow. Awful.
Yeah. But Preller is going to make the call.
God,
He's
don't
got
go.
nothing. He's got nothing left to the minors to trade though, but he's going to call.
This is terrible for me to say, and I might get some backlash. I would rather him go to the Dodgers than the Padres.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. I mean, I
Oof.
I can't get behind that team. I can't.
No.
Mason Miller, man. Oh, no one's ever going to hit that dude again, ever. Speaking of the Padres,
No.
completely and miserably unhittable. When the hitters' faces look like they're going to cry before they even step in the batter's box, that's when you know you're dominant, man.
Yeah.
Wild. But, man.
Yeah. Interesting question, Marty. Phillies. The Phillies' problem really hasn't been the pitching. Wheeler's back and looking good.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Phillies need the guys to hit the ball. They've given up the second most runs in the division, but they've also scored the fewest in the division. Or I guess second fewest. Mets have scored fewer. The offense is not good.
Yeah.
The pitching is good, but not great.
Yeah. I mean, this combo would be just freaking deadly, Curtis. I can't even imagine just getting mowed down by Skubal for 8 innings, and then Mason Miller comes in and it's just like, hey, sorry about it, guys.
Yeah.
Man, it would be fun to watch.
Hey guys, remember me? Yeah.
Holy cow, man.
My turn.
To the Padres missed the playoffs by 1.5 games.
Yeah, exactly how it would play out.
Or get bounced, after having a 2-1 series lead. I don't know, man. I mean, he's gone. There's no way he stays in Detroit. No possible way at this point.
That would be like general manager malpractice to not trade him. Like, you should fire him if he doesn't trade him.
Yeah. 1,000%.
You have to get something for him. Your season's circling the toilet. Gotta go. Yeah,
and remember, they have a few extra days too, so you can make sure he's healthy before you send him.
Yeah, true.
Or whatever. Right? They have August 3rd is the deadline this year, which is a weird day, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
it's not the typical July 31st.
My guess they move him earlier to get more value for him because they'd have him for longer.
Yeah. Yeah, that one extra start makes a difference. But I think you're right. Like, he comes back, makes a couple starts with the Tigers to make sure that he's good to go, and then bye-bye.
Prove that he's healthy, and then see you later, pal.
Yeah. Crazy. Yeah, Marty, what the Dodgers are able to do is ridiculous. And, yeah, goes back to our whole argument about, what was said by the president of the MLBPA. So, yeah, it's crazy. So, we will see. Do you see any other big names really getting moved at the deadline?
I mean, I think with all these teams being in it, no. I mean, unless I could see I could see Bichette getting moved out if the Mets are still sucking wind.
Yeah, the guys on 1-year deals, a rise maybe.
Yeah, I could see a rise being trade bait. I can see Bichette getting moved out. But the entire NL Central's in. Almost the entire AL West is in, even as bad as some of them have been. I mean, do the Red Sox try to dump Chapman and Sonny Gray and those guys?
I mean, Chapman's on a 1-year deal. If the team needs a closer, I think they call about Chapman for sure.
Yeah, I would think so.
Right? He's on a 1 year or the second year of a 2-year, something like that.
I think so. Yeah.
Either way, it's his last.
Either way, he's an easy guy to trade.
Yeah.
Is Contreras the guy you look to move because he's got value?
He's got value, but he's got 3 more years. I think. I could have made that up.
Yeah, and don't look now. The Brewers are in front in the NL Central again.
Yeah, I mean,
they were in 5th place last week. They've now moved up to 1st. Yeah. It's just how tight that division is.
He's got a club option for 28. So they have him this year, next year, and 28 if the club picks it up. And if he's playing like this, they're probably going to pick it up.
Yep.
Because they have nothing else.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But
yeah, I'm not sure there's a lot of big names that will be able to move. Maybe a few. But it's like, who the hell's going to want Bo Bichette at $42 million a year when he's been sucking wind most of the year?
Yeah, what would you have to pay him? Like $25 million for the rest of the year?
You'd have the rest of the year to cover. The dude's hitting 218.
Yeah.
Like, you almost better let him rot away in New York. He's a negative .2 WAR player, hitting 217, playing abysmal defense.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's $52 million this year, not $42 million.
Ew. $52 million for Bo Bichette this year.
That is laughable.
Wow.
I've got to see why that is. Oh no, it's 42. I think Baseball Reference has it wrong.
I was gonna say, I was like, I didn't think it was that high, but
it's the tax calculation because there's a big signing bonus in it. That's why.
Gotcha.
He counts 52 million against.
Against what?
Against luxury tax.
Yeah, we all know that doesn't matter.
No.
Yeah, Cardinals won't buy yet, which is going to drive me nuts, but I get it. Yeah, it's hard, Ryan, right? When you see your guys playing well. This was the Red Sox screaming the last 3 years, because I think, honestly, the Red Sox missed their windows the last 3 years. They had moves that they could have made at the deadline to make their team better, and they just stood pat. They did nothing. And it cost them, because now look at what they're doing now. Like, they're not in a position to do anything. So I think the Red Sox year this year is a combination of what has happened in the past 3 when they haven't made their team better at the deadline. But with a Cardinals team where, they are rebuilding, for sure rebuilding, you don't want to upset that. Like, let the process happen. And in a couple of years, if you're still playing like this and you're ready to compete, yeah, make that one more move, right? So it's tough. I'm with you. I get it, but it's still hard.
What's even more wild is Bo Bichette's $42 million with a full no trade clause. Like, who's in charge in New York? Like, who's in charge of the Mets? Who gives out that atrocious contract?
So he won't get moved at the deadline unless it's
he can just block it if he doesn't want to go.
Yeah. Holy smokes. That is crazy. But dang. All right.
Brutal. Not good for the Mets. This season is circling the drain, and there's nobody coming to save them.
No. They've already packed it up and gone home.
Yeah, they're done. And you can see in the way they play, like, those guys don't care.
No. I just don't understand it. And maybe that's what happens when you pay these guys more than what they're worth. Like, I don't have to go out and work hard now. It's all guaranteed. I'm going to get paid no matter what.
Yeah.
Win or lose, I don't care. So, I don't know. Maybe not this year, but when does Cincy trade Ellie De La Cruz?
Soon. They already tried to make him the highest paid player in franchise history, and he said no. So, he's a free agent in 2030. His first arbitration year is next year, so they've got probably another couple years, and then they'll probably move him in 28 or 29.
Damn. So, I think we've talked about this, but my brain's not braining right now, as usual. If they don't have baseball in 2027, do their contracts get pushed out a year?
Yes, everything gets deferred out a year.
But what if there's no deferrals, Harrison?
It's a different kind of deferral.
I know. I'm just kidding.
It's a different deferral.
Yeah. So everything. What if they come back and play 35 games? Does that count as a contract year? Because they get paid at the prorated.
Yeah, it all gets prorated, so it counts as a contract year. Yeah, as long as baseball is played, then it'll count as a prorated year.
So I mean, that almost tells me that they will play some sort of baseball next year. That would be a logistical nightmare to push out
Yep.
everybody's contract a year.
Well, because now guys are all a year older at the end of those contracts. Like it
Yeah,
could be bad.
that's what I'm saying. So I now that I'm thinking about that and that aspect, there's going to be at least some baseball played at some point. It might
There
not
has
be
to
a
be.
lot.
Yeah, guys don't want to give up the whole year for stats and their careers. They're going to want to get paid. And yeah, I think teams are going to want to see guys in the field so they're not stuck with contracts for one more year. I mean, could you imagine tacking on yet another year to some of these bad deals? Manny Machado will be like 63 when he retires.
Right. Crazy.
Terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Anything else for
I
this
do,
evening?
to that point though, I do wonder if they're going to set it up where, I guess you can't, because why would players would ever go for it? I wonder if they're going to try to find a way to avoid those years, but there's no way the MLBPA would go for that.
What do you mean void those years? Like at the
Like if
back end?
27 doesn't happen, just like eliminate it from the contract. But there's no way players would allow that because they sign these guaranteed deals.
Oh yeah, and Bo Bichette would be out $42 million.
Yeah, there's no way the MLBPA would lose their mind at that idea.
Yeah. So Marty, I'm so fed up with these outrageous salaries. Wouldn't bother me if they had a work stoppage.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's just like when I'm watching the game, I don't think about the salaries usually. I love the game itself that much, but it is astronomical. I'm totally with you. It's outrageous for sure. But does that mean Bobby Bonilla's contract goes to 2036? Most likely. Yep.
I do wonder though, like, are deferrals tied to games being played? I don't know.
I mean, former players aren't part of the union anymore, are they?
They're not affected
Unless,
by a work stoppage.
well, if they're still getting paid, are they?
I
Are
don't
they
know.
still considered members of the union if you're still getting paid by the MLB?
I don't think so because you're not active. Like, why would you keep paying dues to a union you're not part of?
Well, I mean, that's true.
You're not part of the CBA anymore. Your deferral agreement is nothing more than a payment schedule attached to a contract. Like,
Oh yeah, that's fair.
I bet the deferrals get paid. I bet Chris Davis is going to get paid more money next year than anybody else.
Crazy. That's crazy. Chris Davis.
That's terrible.
Man.
All right. With that being said,
is Bonilla on Social Security now? He's got to be close.
probably doesn't qualify with that massive salary he gets.
I mean, how old would Bobby Bonilla be? 50s? Let's see here. We are. Why can't I find his age?
He's 63.
63. There it is. Goodness. Yep. 2 years away.
So he'll get his
Wow.
Social Security. He probably won't qualify for like Medicaid or Medicare, whatever, whichever one you get because the salary is too high.
Yeah.
But
Crazy.
I mean, not a problem.
Yeah, I think he's all right. I think he'll be okay. Wild. But anyways.
Crazy.
All right. Well, fellas, again, another incredible episode. Can't thank you enough for what you guys do for us and come and talk baseball every episode. We have pretty exciting couple weeks here coming down the road. A lot of baseball to talk about. A lot of guests that we're going to have coming through here next couple weeks. So we are pumped for that. I hope you guys are too. And can't thank you guys enough for what you do for us, episode in, episode out, and during the week on our page. You guys are the backbone of what we do. Say it every week, and I will continue to say it every week because you guys are incredible. So keep up the support. Love you guys. I'll be talking to some of you guys in the chat like I do all week, or in the messengers. And then, enjoy your week of baseball. We'll see you Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.